So hang on, if I do a live version, I'm trying to remember how it goes. I've got my little piece of paper here where I wrote the notes down originally. How did it go again? How did it go again?
Yeah.
I think I can only remember I can't do the
Mambo number 5. You can't
I can only do the Mambo number 5 bit, I think.
Whatever you got.
Yeah, I can do
Oh,
the
it's oh no, that's the Diddy Kong Racing theme tune, I think.
So it starts off with
so I can start that bit. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's it.
You're recording?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, fine. So hang on, no. Hang on. Village idiots!
Hey everyone.
Oh my god.
Welcome to Village Idiots. My name's Alex. I'm joined by Josh. We're part of a world where confidence means nothing. It really is all about how you play the game, and how we play is confusing for spectators, particularly fans of cricket. This world is village cricket, and our team is Clapham Cricket Club. How are you, Josh?
I'm good, especially after that particularly special and wonderful introduction.
I can't wait for the explanation of the magic and how it all came together. Yeah, who is it going to be?
Who could it possibly be?
Brilliant. Obviously, a guest that has already very, very strong ties to this podcast since the very, very beginning of it, and has further inched his way in like a very welcome parasite in the way that we love him and we want to look after him and we nurture him and we keep him around because we absolutely love his head and his face. And he's we already talked off air before the podcast, more than willing to contribute to the archipelago of Clapham Inn with an island of his own. It's looking great.
It's getting there.
After that incredibly long intro, DB, how are you, mate?
Oh, guys, thank you for the warm welcome. I'm delighted to be here. I've been very, very excited to contribute properly to this. Actually, you get to hear my voice rather than just my slightly poor tromboning skills.
Amazing trombone skills.
Or my son's drawings, which obviously are amazing.
Indeed. I think you've already contributed triple in the first 2 minutes compared to like every other guest combined. No offense to them, but
yeah, I was about to say they'll be writing into you on the one email address. So.
Yeah, but hey,
yeah. Well, I've got to do something to get them writing in because no one is. So.
Have you had any emails yet?
No, Langham is still not listening.
I do think it's very optimistic to set up anything to do with it, to be honest.
If I'm nothing if not optimistic, hopeful and sad, some might say, but thank you for using optimistic instead. DB, what's your role at Clapham Cricket Club, and how long have you been with us?
Good question. So my role currently is part-time player. I was treasurer at one point, so I joined in 2012.
That year the club lost all that money.
So 2012 I joined. Without repeating what other people have said, I searched for a Clapham-based cricket club on Google. Actually found a Putney Cricket Club. Got a chance to play for them. Realised it all sounded a bit too serious and league-based. And then found Clapham Inn and rocked up at the Rian reached out to me, said, "Oh, we go to Nets, come along." And so Rhiannon was my first skipper, and so 2012 was the first year, and then I think I was treasurer the following year, I think, which, I like to think I brought a new level of professionalism to the treasury. I mean, clearly it's been taken on to new levels under John Stern, but so that's my. So I've been 8 years now in the club. I think I've played. I looked at my stats last night actually. So I played 38 games, 38 innings. I might have played more games than that. I don't always bat, but 38 innings in those 8 years. So
I do wish there was I wish we'd kept tally of appearances as well as just innings, because I know people wanted to do like the 100 appearances caps and stuff like that, which would be such a nice thing to do. But we only seem to have a record of the innings, sadly.
Yeah. I mean, we generally do get through most our wickets, so
I was about to say it's pretty close.
I probably haven't played that many more than 38.
Yeah, unless JH is doing the chase, then probably not.
Exactly.
What's your earliest memory of cricket then? It's going way back.
Earliest cricket memories. So, I remember getting sort of an ancient cricket bat and stumps from our next door neighbour, probably they're from about the 1930s, and I was giving them when I was about 7. So I'd play occasionally in the garden with my dad with those, not appreciating that they were probably antiques and it's probably worth something. But that was probably age 7. But I didn't really get into cricket or understand what cricket was about until probably about 12. And I discovered. Do you remember there was you probably have something similar in Australia, but in the UK we had the fantasy cricket in the Daily Telegraph, and I loved that. So the idea of you'd and this is obviously before the days of the internet, so you'd choose your team with your openers, your middle orders, whatever, and you'd send it. You'd fill in a form on the paper, and then you'd post it off, and then you get sent back in the post some chart that you could track your points on.
No, we didn't.
Once there was a football one, which is exactly the same principle, and you filled it in from the paper and you did it, and each week you'd phone up for your position, and I used to call up every week, every Saturday like evening or Sunday morning, whatever it was, and call up and it'd be like, you have come 17,600. But one week I phoned up and went, you have come 4th. And I came 4th in the whole country. It was a great day.
Wow,
that's amazing!
And there's prize fund. Top prize each week was 20 grand. Missed out on it. Got
but only for the winner.
Yeah, and it was I think 3rd place got something, and 4th place, bugger all.
Yeah, no, I never did very well in fantasy cricket. I think I may have been in the top 20 in the country for the first week once, and then I'd ended up To
be fair, cricket in the 90s was quite hard to predict anyway, so you didn't really have a chance.
It's very true. So that was kind of I got quite. So I was quite geeky and got quite into the sort of the stats around it all, and then at school I learnt to be a cricket scorer. Was my first sort of so I became familiar with the laws and how to score cricket, even though I couldn't play it to save my life. And I actually didn't really get the chance to play it. And then it was probably in about 94, I went to watch my first cricket match. So I was with school and they took us on a school trip to watch Middlesex at Lord's in the Sunday League. And I thought it was just awesome. So I must have been 12 then. And I got an autograph book from Lord's shop and got my first ever autograph, which was the very famous Mike Rosebery. I'm sure we all remember Mike. But I also got Ramps and Mike Gattings as well.
Ramps
that day.
Okay.
And then that summer I kind of started going to watch a lot more cricket. So I went to the Cheltenham Festival with my dad and watched Gloucestershire play. Saw Courtney Walsh smash a 50 and thought he's obviously an amazing batsman. If you actually look at his stats, that's actually his highest ever first class score. So I didn't realise who Courtney Walsh was at the time, and that he was actually one of the best bowlers ever. And then the following year, in '95, I went on another school trip. Went to watch the first Test match between, I think it was the second day, between Windies and England at Lord's, and it was Dominic Cork's debut. He went on to get, I think, 7 for 43 in the second innings, which actually is his still best ever bowling figures for England. And it was his debut. So he had the likes of Cork and Goffey and Peter Martin and Gus Fraser and Richard Illingworth leading the way for the England attack. Bowling against the likes of Lara and Richie Richardson and Walsh and Ambrose and stuff. And from that point, I was just totally hooked. And I became a member of the Gloucestershire County Cricket Club, and used to go and watch them play a lot. And then actually, I then started getting into cricket a lot more and playing cricket at school, which was awesome. And I learned. I was determined to become a leg spinner. I can't remember why. I think I liked watching. I thought it was just different. I thought it was quite cool. That you could
Shane Warne effect, surely.
And I think it was Shane Warne. I thought
I definitely got into it because of that.
Shane Warne was awesome, and I worked out that I was actually really good at spinning the ball. You wouldn't know that these days, but I bowled pretty slowly, but with some really awesome flight, and could turn it a mile.
I would say you still have all of those attributes.
I don't know. I don't turn it anymore because I'm not for CICC when I try. I can do it in nets, but when I try and bowl out in the middle and try and spin it, it will just go onto a completely different wicket.
That makes no sense at all. So you can turn it in the nets when it's AstroTurf concrete underneath, but when it's a grass pitch, nothing.
Well, no, it's not that. I lose all my accuracy. I think if I practiced more, I probably could do it in the out on the square as well. But I could do it when I was sort of 13, 14, and it took quite a few wickets. And I used to my batting was never very good, but bowling was pretty good. And I ended up playing for sort of our school second 11 and stuff. And but yeah, my teenage years, I was just totally obsessed with cricket. I guess most teenage boys would probably be chasing girls, and I was a bit of a late bloomer, I think, in that regard. And
when do you expect to bloom?
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know, mate. But yeah, cricket was sort of every breathing moment. I thought about cricket during my teenage years. Writing, I'd total geek. I'd write down my cricket best 11s. I would watch cricket when I could on TV. My summer holidays would be literally wall-to-wall cricket, watching every ball of the tests. So that'd be that's 20 days of your summer holidays gone.
Yeah. It must be amazing to watch Elliot do basically the same thing now, then.
Yeah, he's I don't. I mean, he probably has obviously been influenced by me and a bit brainwashed, but he was actually. It's amazing that Elliot is so into cricket. I love it, and he similar to me actually in terms of. I guess there was the World Cup in '96, which I got really, really into. Even though England were rubbish, and I'd get up at like 5 a.m. to watch some of the games over in. I think it was hosted in the subcontinent. Then I think it might have been in India's Pakistan, Sri Lanka. I can't remember, but. Elliot's obviously through CICC actually, and also the World Cup last year where England winning it. He's really, really got obsessed with cricket, and he's definitely got more of a natural talent for it than I've ever had as well. So he's quite good at it. It's a real pleasure that he gets to practice with, when he comes down and watches CICC. He's really influenced by the guys, and it makes me really proud actually how all the CICC guys welcome him so warmly, and Josh obviously has become Elliot's hero, and from doing the throwdowns for him.
It'll fade soon. I'm worried. But it's what I remembered as being a kid as well, and like when my dad and his mates would play cricket, and if you ever got like throwdowns or could catch or do anything with them, it was so exciting. I loved it.
It's the best.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, it's definitely it's been brilliant. And then during lockdown we've been playing a lot of cricket, and it's just amazing to watch Elliot's sort of development. From where he could base. He had some of the basics right, but he's really like he can play definitely better cricket shots than I can, and he's getting pretty fast at his bowling as well. So we've done a couple of cricket coaching sessions recently as well at Dulwich. He plays for Dulwich Cricket Club, and so that's been great. Yeah,
that's amazing.
Nice,
brilliant. So you say your first match you ever went and saw was at Lord's?
Yes,
that's incredible.
Yeah, and so I mean Lord's is amazing, isn't it? But to go there it is the best, and I think I I think Lords, even though I'm a Gloucestershire, I'm not a paying member anymore, but I used to be a Gloucestershire member, and I probably watched more games though at Lords than at Bristol. And over the years, be it those first games I went to see, and then the Test match, and then actually watching Gloucestershire in the they had an amazing run of form in the late 90s, early 2000s, where they kept winning back-to-back finals, and I went to see a few of those at Lords, which is some special memories at Lords.
Indeed. Speaking of highlights, then, I mean, you got Gloucestershire highlights, CICC highlights.
There's so many, isn't there? I don't want to sound like a broken record from I'm making Josh feel gutted again about Prague, but there you go.
I'm so sick of hearing about these tours. Also, I love that. Like Alex obviously asked this question in the first episode, thinking someone might say, "Oh, that 78 I hit," or those 5 wickets I took, and no one has been selfish. Everyone has gone, "Oh, that's all about the team." Actually, this is being with my mate.
Yeah, it's true. So I actually didn't pick up on that. It's a bit suspicious, isn't it? Actually,
mine is my 100, no doubt. Get over it.
Well, give me a moment, and I will definitely fish out some selfish moments of highlights as well. But yeah, Prague does definitely stand out, just because everything about it was so surreal. The fact that we were, our team going off to Prague and playing this international Pepsi sponsored tournament with, 5-star quality, unlimited food and drink provided, and
was it actually Pepsi, or was it like a cheap knockoff?
No, it was actually Pepsi.
Like Lepsi or something.
Pepsi in the Czech Republic sponsored it.
Fair enough.
And it had the Czech national team playing in it, so which they demolished us twice in that tournament. But it was that was really cool. I think Goodrich, clearly, it's been mentioned lots of times, but that's magical every time. That first one especially, where I think, just seeing that ground for the first time, and the beautiful sort of surroundings, and the fact that the host spoiled us so well with we had an amazing curry night, and then I think the following year won the quiz where I was on your team, Alex, and and that was awesome. And then I remember one year, I think it was last year, the last time I went there actually was a couple of years ago. We needed about 30 to win off the last 4 overs. And I went in at number 10, I think. And Fred was there doing it. He scored a ton of runs, and he then got out, and so it was me and Matt Goodman. And I think he got to the point where I'd done a few Chinese cuts for 4, and we'd got to the point where we needed 4 off the last ball, and I was facing, and I thought, this is my chance. I can finally have that glory moment of taking a team to victory. And the ball came in. It was a pretty rubbish ball. It was there for the taking, just to be lop it into the short boundary for 6. But I edged it to the keeper and gave Goodrich the trophy.
That edge could have gone anywhere because they didn't have a slip in. I remember that.
To be honest, I don't think I'd hit a single ball out of the middle that day, and I'd done lots of these sort of inside Chinese cuts to sort of fine leg boundary, and so. But unfortunately, that edge just went to the keeper.
That was so exciting, though.
So it should have happened a lot earlier then.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. And then so that was cool. And then I think another tour, Corfu, was awesome, and that was actually there's a really great book that I've got, and Matt Goodman's got it as well, because I bought it once I saw Matt had got it. It's called Remarkable Cricket Grounds or something, and it's got the Corfu cricket ground in there, the one from Corfu Town, which we played in, and it's great because it's like in the middle of the town centre, surrounded by these bars and everything, and we played there, and that was the famous one where Rid got like a 6 with his reverse sweep, which is incredible. It's the only time I think it's ever worked for him. And
ludicrous.
And then I bowled and got 3 for 7, and got the best bowling figures in the AGM that year. So that was cool. And then, to be honest, my performances for CICC in terms of actually contributing a lot are few and far between. So there was that one, and then there was the Mambas a couple of years ago, which I absolutely loved because
I remember that.
It was a really weird game anyway. It had been raining a lot. We didn't I think Joel completely screwed up
hadn't booked the pitch,
the booking. So we had some plastic stumps that he'd just got out and bought. We had no access to the pavilion or anything. I think we bowled from one end and the other end. I think we used a bag for stumps. It was proper village cricket.
And been there a few times.
And I managed to get I batted and managed to get 20 off 8 balls, and then bowled and got 3 wickets and got Tim, who used to play for CICC. I got him out. Stumped and
I remember that.
That was quite a nice.
How angry was he?
He was really pissed off.
Because I was keeper and he was not. Yeah, he wasn't impressed. Yeah.
Tim used to get angry at anything though. Like if he was dismissed, like, he was just pissed off. He was angry. Just an angry dude. Weird for a South African.
Yeah, right. So I got man of the match for that, and then was asked to partake in the downing beer through a funnel sort of thing.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't very good at that.
And we've never played Mamba since.
Yeah, we haven't played it since. No. I think we can leave that fixture and go off on a high. But but without being cheesy, I guess I think the memories really is just really getting to spend time with the CICC guys. I think these days life is crazy busy with kids and everything, and actually the most time I get to spend with people outside of sort of family and work is with the cricket club. So that's always really special. And then obviously seeing Elliot get involved in it and becoming equally obsessed with cricket through the influence of you guys and everyone at CICC has been amazing. And just special moments. If you think, the time where we all played cricket at Dim Clack's wedding and stuff, and just the times we've got together. Playing cricket is almost like is a nice element, but actually getting together after some drinks and all the banter and stuff is a great bit. So.
Yeah, dead right. Yeah, that's what we said in like one of the earlier episodes, isn't it? It's like 22 people get together or more with extended families coming along as well. To have a bit of a chat and a beer, and a game of cricket just happens as well.
Exactly,
right? That's how it goes down.
Very true. Yeah.
So many highlights, man. You make my career feel dull. with that,
to be honest, that's it. I mean, I don't think I pulled out the only games I've ever actually.
Well, that's every CICC memory he has. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Most games,
I'd almost feel bad asking for a low light.
There aren't really. I can't think of any lows. I think that actually not being able to play as much as I'd like. I'd love to have played more over the years. But I think hopefully I'll play more in the future as the kids get older, and Elliot will probably outshine me as a player as well at some point.
No doubt.
And then I think I know this is a light-hearted podcast and not to get too serious, but I think one of the lowlights actually was we had a great player who played for us only for a short time in 2012, which is Ishmael, who came from Burma, and he was a real character, had an amazing appeal when he tried to appeal in bowling. He was literally some superstar from the subcontinent in terms of how they all that energy, and he was a great player, great batter as well. And he sadly died when he went back to Burma in a car accident that year. So that we I think we named one of the trophies after him that year. But so sad moment there. But but generally I think there's been very little lows. I think it's always a positive and lots of high moments.
Good, nice, well said. Okay, so story of your nickname. So we've got obviously DB.
Doesn't need any explanation.
Yeah, okay. I'm not even.
I haven't got as many as some. DB.
However, the other nickname that I've got it's less of a nickname and more of a alter ego.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, it's a different personality. Griff. Do you want to give us a story behind that one, mate?
Yeah. So Griff is an interesting one. There's a number of stories of how Griff has emerged as a name. I think the family friendly one is that. There's a great kids book by Julia Donaldson called The Gruffalo. And the Gruffalo became the Griffalo, became the Griff. That's the version I'm giving anyway. So
didn't Julia Donaldson? So was it Julia Donaldson, the author?
Yes.
Didn't she open up a really nice establishment somewhere as well?
She may have
where
done.
you could go and drink nice drinks and things.
I think she did. Yeah.
Was it called the Griffin? Is that it? The Griffin?
May have been.
Rings a bell. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
But so Griff is my alter ego. So whenever I've been on tour or in situations where I've had a few beers, my best cricket performances have generally been after a couple of beers because I'm generally a confidence player. So
more than skill. Yeah.
so as Rid has Rodney or Rod. Mine is Griff, and that's everyone's a little bit worried when Griff comes in.
Sure.
Oh, what a character!
Slightly more concerned when Rod appears, though. Rod is far more dangerous.
Rod is angry.
Well, he does his party trick, doesn't he? Which is falling downstairs
and beating people up. Yeah.
He likes to roll downstairs. That's his party trick.
All right. Favorite opposition.
So this is where you'll probably laugh. I barely remember who we play most of the time. So
Same.
I don't know who we're playing most of the time. I can. So when people go, oh yeah, that great, when we go to Marlow or we go to Bansters, I've no idea the names of our teams we're playing against. So actually, though, they mentioned before, but Indian Gym, I played that game once, and clearly the food is phenomenal. And that was the highlight I took from that. Goodrich, obviously I know we play Goodrich because we go to Goodrich. I've been to Henley, so I assume we were playing Henley that day.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and we used to play ones that had a Christian Methodists, something Methodists.
Kingston Methodists.
Yeah. So, but I generally, apart from Mambas, where I did quite well, and Corfu Town, where I assume we were playing Corfu, I don't know who we're playing half the time. Don't know.
I love if the England team were exactly the same. They were like, well, we're in Sri Lanka, so I guess we were playing Sri Lanka. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't think about it. Blueies is a team we played because I know they're your mates, Josh. And that's always a fun one. But I don't. Generally, I rock up and just think, we're going to play some cricket and have a bit of fun, and I don't really think about the opposition.
Yeah, imagine the confusion in the international teams if they turn up and they turn up to Sri Lanka and they're like, why are we playing West Indies?
Yeah.
What's going on here? Why are we doing this? Like, who arranged this? Like, we must be in the West Indies then.
Yeah, so I don't think I'll ever make a great fixture secretary.
It's funny that you say you have no memory of fixtures, because do you remember when we were voting whether to get rid of Village or not as a fixture? And it's always been a point of contention. I do not get Dr. Clack started on that one. And one year we were tied in the voting whether to continue it or not. And we were like, well, DB's on his way. Should we wait? Oh, no, we'll just give him a call. I think we called or texted you saying...
I got a WhatsApp, yeah.
Village, yes or no as a fixture. And you were like, yeah, definitely. And you obviously have no idea who they were.
So Village, I don't. My memories are a little bit foggy with Village. I know that Matt Bower, who used to play for CICC, also played for Village, and we and we were playing for the Matt Bower Cup. I remember that, and I always thought, I think I only played that first year, and it was all quite amicable and friendly, and Matt Bower was part of the team. It was all good, but clearly I didn't know all the stories that came after that. So I just said, why not? Let's keep Village on there. Sorry about that.
And they didn't play the fixture.
Sorry.
That's all right.
My goodness. That's it for questions for me at the minute. Josh, I'm going to pass it over to you now.
Okay, thanks. I have a few questions, Deebs. So... I mean, we've kind of hinted and spoken a little bit about your love of 90s cricket. And obviously we'll go into that in much more detail later. But I just have a couple of little things I wanted to ask you first. 2 cricketing questions from the 90s.
Right.
Number 1. What song was number 1 in the charts when Nasser scored his 207 in that Ashes Test at Edgbaston?
So I can give you
a year if you want.
No, it's 97, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
do you want a date?
It would have been the first test, so you're probably talking May.
Very close.
Jesus Christ.
May, it's probably June, actually, isn't it? Pushing into June. 97. Number one in 97. So when we do pub quizzes, by the way, music's always my shit round because I'm not very good at remembering bands and stuff.
Think about more popular culture then.
It's going to be like Spice Girls or something, isn't it?
Oh,
is that too
so close, but so far.
I was thinking Spice Girls.
It's a theme tune from a TV show.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
In 97, a theme tune.
Oh, it's all right.
I did say my wheelhouse is cricket knowledge from the 90s.
I just wanted to see how far it stretched into the 90s. So it was Friends, funnily enough.
Yeah, I was going to say the Friends theme tune.
And then
right?
also, I was looking at a couple of different moments in the 90s I could have chosen number one from. The other one I was looking at was Gooch's 333, which was in 1990. And the number one then was the theme tune from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's incredible.
I watched that in the cinema. Great movie.
Yeah, absolutely. And then just one more in this kind of a little category. So in the 1999 World Cup,
yes,
which is in England,
yeah.
Which came first, the official song being released or England getting knocked out?
I remember it well. So England got knocked out, and then the official theme tune got released the following week.
So shit. I mean, that is incredible.
I mean, that World Cup was just. I went to watch a game actually. I went to watch England Zimbabwe at Trent Bridge, and we won that game. I think it was one of the only games we did win. But yeah, it was a weird tournament because I think Nick Knight had been dropped just before the tournament, which was crazy because he was obviously our best player opening. And then they brought in people like Ian Austin, who, if you remember Ian Austin, was kind of rotund Lancashire all-rounder who, always was incredible at one-day cricket for Lancashire. But yeah, it was definitely not an international player.
The depth of your knowledge is just... It's extraordinary. So on a it's not going to test your knowledge too much this one. So I want to know, you're famous in CICC, obviously, for leaving parenting duties of your children to usually long on, which actually in our club is quite a dangerous position to put your kids into. I was wanting to know, which member of the club would you least trust to be with the kids at long on?
Least.
Oh wow, that's quite that's quite tough. I'll point out I'm not the only parent who just leaves their kids to be looked after by someone else. We played a 2020 game where Ed Greggs rocked up with his two girls.
Yeah, I do remember that.
And he actually ended up batting longer than anyone else, and I was entertaining his two girls for most of the innings.
Child neglect is a common fine.
We're good at that. So who would be the least trust? I mean, Joel's got a dog, so I think Joel. Now he probably would be okay. With
have you met Lola?
That's true. I have.
I don't think it's a good indication of his parenting strengths.
I sense a strongly worded email.
Clearly you've got some real trustworthy ones in there. Clearly, St James.
But I think Frex will be too focused on his fielding. And actually would be a terrible choice.
I think he'd keep apologising actually to say sorry about my fielding, guys. I've got other responsibilities here. This is bigger than cricket. I think I would trust everyone with my line.
Yeah, you've happily sat on the fence pretty much. Yeah, it's fine. So your record at CICC, mainly with the ball, is almost infinitely better when you're either drunk or your family are the only spectators present. Did you model yourself on pretty much every county spinner from the 90s?
Pretty much. So I like...
there was a laugh there, I think, but it just cut out.
There was a laugh. Sorry, I might have touched my microphone.
It felt really awkward. I was like, that was great.
So clearly, Ian Salisbury is one of my idols. So if I could combine Shane Warne, Ian Salisbury, Jeremy Snape, and Martin Ball,
nice,
the one.
With
maybe throw a little bit of Tuffers in there and Peter Such. I think I think you'd have, a world beater.
Yeah, absolutely.
Indeed.
And now, obviously, a lot of French connections in your family. Your lovely wife is French, of course. So I just want to know why you aren't better at French cricket.
Based on, have you seen me play French cricket?
Yep, it was disappointing at best.
You're thinking I think you're thinking of Yorkshire, aren't you? We played a bit in the
the garden. That was
I'm pretty rubbish at French cricket, but the French. Although actually, the French do play cricket. I lived in France for a few years, and I played for
France,
a club in Paris.
Okay.
And
was it Paris?
And the teams were they've got a league system and everything going on in France.
Wow.
They've got an international team. So most of the players are sort of expats from sort of India and Sri Lanka, Pakistan. There's not many French sort of.
I was just going to say we've got to do a tour to the south of France, and then I just remembered we did it last year, didn't we?
You did, yeah.
And we got rained off the entire weekend.
Indoor tournament, yeah.
So we covered that, and now I have another little test for you. Yeah.
Right.
So I've used, because my French is not great. It's pretty mal. So thanks. But I've got Google Translate on the case, and I want to test your French skills with cricketing terms. Okay?
My French is terrible these days.
Wow. So here we go. We have 5 little phrases, and you've just got to tell me what they are, okay? So Google Translate lady is going to read them out, and you are going to tell me what they are. So it's just cricketing terms. Okay.
Oh, God, okay.
Are you ready? Number 1.
Conduit couvert.
Okay, did you get that? One more time?
Yeah, cover drive.
Oh, yes. Very good.
Wow.
I'm genuinely impressed with that. Okay, next one.
Straight away.
Pris et bouleversé.
Reverse swing?
Oh, no. That one is caught and bowled.
Oh, caught and bowled, okay.
Yeah, don't worry. And then this one?
Canard.
I think she said spinach.
Just your one. One more time. There you go.
Canard.
Oh, duck.
Yeah. You're doing very well. This one?
Balayage inversé.
Is that reverse swing?
That's reverse sweep. Oh, so close. And then finally, we have this one.
Fitoufneul et super.
Super over.
No, listen carefully. Come on, hang on, there you go.
Fitoufneul et super. Fitoufneul et super.
I mean, it's pretty much as it sounds, just in a French accent.
Really?
It's Phil Tufnell is super. I'll play it again.
Fitoufneul et super.
Fitoufneul is super. I got the super bit, but I translated Fitoufneul as over.
Did pretty well, mate. Did pretty well. Oh wow, God, that was great. So that was your French test. You did much better than I expected. I'm impressed.
Yeah, I mean, I probably should have done better. French wide.
Cover drive was impeccable.
But yeah,
amazing.
Cover drive was good.
It was straight away.
That was very good.
It was instant.
So, just a couple more little ones. Is it frustrating or pride-inducing to see Elliot smash you around every park in South London?
It's very satisfying. Yes,
Yeah.
It makes me very proud. Like I've realised in the last couple of weeks that I'm becoming one of those really annoying dads who's being a little bit like, come on, play properly. You put your elbow up,
get your elbow
foot
up.
forward.
Yeah.
And then so I had to stop myself the other day because I was like, shit, he's got to carry on enjoying. He's got to carry on enjoying it. But no, it's a pleasure to watch him play, and he's getting better and better. So.
It's amazing. I saw either you or Marine put up on Instagram some videos of him in the nets the other day, and it was genuinely amazing. Like he was getting to the pitches of all smashing it back over your head.
He's and what's weird is I think that although he's had a couple of coachings recently, it's all like the main thing about I think with cricket is that. you've got to allow the person to find their own technique. Rather than I taught myself cricket from textbooks of like learning actually how to do the textbook cover drive and stuff, but actually yes, you want to get the basics right, but I remember reading an interview with Steve Smith, and he's obviously got such a weird way of batting, and it's definitely not textbook style at all, but clearly is probably one of the greatest batsmen there's ever been. So so allowing Elliot kind of just find his own way
do
of
his thing.
batting is pretty cool.
But it does help that he's because he is such a good kid, and because you guys have brought him up so well, it makes him very coachable. So he will listen when people say things, and he will follow techniques and stuff. What?
Thank you. I don't think it's anything to do with my parenting. I think that, but he.
No, we're meaning Marines parenting.
Exactly. Yeah. Very true. No, he's a good kid, and he. It's true. When his first coaching session the other day was with. So we paid for this membership for Dulwich Cricket Club, and he obviously because of coronavirus it hasn't really happened. So like he's going to have 8 weeks of every Saturday coaching, but because of the slight relaxation, he was able of the lockdown and stuff. He was able to do a one-to-one coaching session. So I think we get 3 of those, and he did a session with a great coach actually, who actually is he said he's the agent and coach for 20 years of Michael Carberry, who obviously went on to play for England and stuff. And no, he did point out that Elliot is really easy to coach because he listens, and he when he asked him like why did you hit that in the you hit that wrong. Apparently most kids will just lie and say, no, I didn't do that, I did this. But Elliot was brutally honest, said, oh, I wasn't, I know what I did wrong. And
that's good.
So that's cool.
Wow, very good. And then I just have one final question.
Yeah.
And it's about Elliot, I'm afraid, but I just want to know, is he going to take up the trombone like his dad?
So I've got a video of Elliot picking up the trombone and playing it, and he actually plays it up pretty well. He probably plays it as well as I can right now.
Don't put yourself down.
I think if he did the theme tune for Village Idiots, you may not tell the difference.
Yeah, let's just take a minute to appreciate how good that live intro was this morning. I mean, other than the fact you didn't actually play the trombone part for Test Match Special, you just went straight to Mambo number 5, but it's fine.
There's a good reason for that, because the Test Match Special part needs the percussion accompaniment, which I can't do simultaneously while playing.
I was going to offer to carry it on, but my percussion skills are famously bad. And
I think the delay might have been a bit of an issue.
It would have been hilarious.
On an earlier podcast, there was I think a debate between yourselves on how did that percussion, who did the percussion for?
I want to know.
Okay,
tell us. Maybe
now's the time to reveal. So if you, sorry, it doesn't work for the podcast viewers, listeners, but if you can see on the camera, that's my bell end of my trombone. And what
put it away! Oh my god!
And what I did,
thank God, it's only a podcast.
Was I pressed my phone to record, stuck my pen in the bell end, and went. So I went.
Okay.
Did that for about 30 seconds, and then I played that back while I played the trombone whilst recording on my iPad. So, so I recorded
the image of you
separately.
Putting a pen in your bell end is one I never ever wished to have.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. And then it making that sound as well, and you recording it and putting it on loop for 30 seconds.
You're never going to hear it the same way now.
Yeah, it was quite a complex task.
God. Well, I mean, that's kind of finished me off.
There you go. That's how the percussion was me, but recorded separately. The joys of modern technology.
Thanks. Well, I think it's now time for the quiz, Alex.
Indeed, yeah. So articulate.
Oh, yes.
However, DB, obviously we know there's been a bit of an issue because one of the categories was DB's wheelhouse, obviously for yourself, but this has been taken up by Joel. So I've had to switch it up. This is a DB only version. Okay. And it's not actually articulate. It's referred to as county down. Okay. County down.
I see what you've done there.
Oh, it's clever. It's clever.
I was toying whether or not it's just county down or whether I make it 8 out of 10 claps does county down. But I don't know where that 8 out of 10 comes from. So it's just county down. So what it is I've brought back all of the names from DB's wheelhouse, which just to be clear, what they are cricketers who played more than 20 tests for England and in the 90s at some point. So they may have debuted in the 80s or the 70s, or debuted in the 90s, but they played more than 20 tests, and they did so for England some point in the 90s. So I've got a list of 26 names in total, and you've got a minute. And what I want you to do, I've given them all to Josh. Josh will go through the names, and you have to say which county they played for.
Right. Oh, gosh. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you have to state which county they played for. Obviously, a couple of them have more than one, so we'll accept any of them.
Okay.
Okay. So some of them have up to 4 different counties that they actually played for. Some of them only one, though.
Blimey. Okay.
So, however, because there's 26 and because this is a special DB round, the way I'm going to do the scoring is you have a point on for correct, a point off for incorrect.
Brutal.
That's tough. That's tough.
Brutal.
Yeah, it is. Because, I mean, I'm expecting you to get 26 out of 26 in a minute. I see no way.
Can I just say something though? So if you remember back to something else earlier we were talking about, is that I'm really shit at knowing oppositions and like people we're playing against. I've never paid any attention to actually counties they play for. I just know that they played for England, and I can tell you, their batting average and things like that. But God knows who they actually played for.
In that case, I so want to end up in minus figures. That would be amazing. Okay.
The alternative to it was I was going to get have just a Gloucestershire only round where it was every player for Gloucestershire, and all Josh would be able to do for the Articulate version was name whether they're a batter or a bowler, right hand, left hand, and a statistic. And I did number 1, that's too easy for you. Number 2, it took so long to get that information together. I was like,
You're not Andy Zaltzman.
I'm just going to find this out instead. Okay, so Josh, I'm going to rely on you to do the yes or no, and I'll keep count as we go through.
Sure.
You've got the names up there in front of you?
I have, yep.
Lovely. I will get the counter up. All right, so there is 60 seconds on the clock. DB, are you ready to play County Down?
I am so ready.
Josh, are you ready?
I am ready.
Lovely, let's play. Go.
Alex Stewart.
Sorry.
Yes. Graham Thorpe.
Sorry.
Yes. Nasser Hussain.
Essex.
Yes. Michael Vaughan.
Yorkshire.
Yes. Andrew Flintoff.
Lancashire.
Yes. Mark Butcher.
Sorry.
Yes. Graham Hick.
Worcestershire.
Yes. Andrew Caddick.
Somerset.
Yes. Darren Goff.
Yorkshire.
Yes. Ashley Giles.
Warwickshire.
Yes. Mark Ramprakash.
Middlesex and Surrey.
Yes. Phil Tufnell.
Middlesex.
Yeah. John Crawley.
Lancashire and Hampshire.
Yeah. Dominic Cork.
Derbyshire and Lancashire.
Yeah. Chris Lewis.
Loads. Surrey.
Yeah. Craig White.
Yorkshire.
Yeah. Robert Croft.
Glamorgan.
Michael Atherton.
Lancashire.
Yeah. Alan Lamb.
Alan Lamb. Oh, Christ. Northamptonshire.
Yeah. Robin Smith.
Lord,
Hampshire.
That's time.
Yeah.
That's time. Sorry.
That is
just before Robin Smith.
Incredible.
Oh my God. You didn't get one wrong.
That is astounding. I'm kind of... I'm speechless.
I quite enjoyed that.
How do you know that?
Yeah, so Robin Smith's Hampshire, by the way. I don't know if you got that.
I can't believe how badly that backfired.
Also, just out of interest, can we try and finish the list? Just not for scores, but just for... I just want to see if you can do it.
Just for giggles, yeah.
Yeah, so you got Robin Smith. Jack Russell.
Gloucestershire.
Angus Fraser.
Middlesex.
Yeah, Philip de Freitas.
Oh, Derbyshire.
Yep. Devon Malcolm.
Northamptonshire.
Yep. Derek Pringle?
Oh, I'm not sure about Derek Pringle. I'm not sure. I'm going to say Hampshire.
Oh, he's the same as Neil Foster. Final one.
Oh, Essex.
Yeah. Oh, so you got one. That's the only
Jesus
one.
Christ.
Derek Pringle. Wow. It's just incredible.
I'm going to have to go back and do the scoring for that. I was counting as I was going, and some of them I thought a point for each one.
I think
so
you
some
need
of them
to.
are double.
With Craig Lewis, you got all three. Mark Ramprakash, you got two.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't even know Norfolk played cricket. Like,
same. When I looked it up, I was like,
how can they do it with six fingers? It's amazing.
And then,
So it represents, a misspent youth, my teenage years being upset. Basically, test me on anything about cricket from about 2002 onwards. Then I don't know, because I was a student and I drank lots of beer and I can't remember.
Wow.
But
that's absolutely crazy. So if we're going by like preliminary score, I was counting on my fingers as we were going. I feel like I probably missed one or two. However, I got up to 22.
Yeah, I think, it was about that. Yeah.
That's mental. Dave.
Yeah. I mean, I think, I don't know if we can put that in with the other categories. I feel like, with the other people, sorry.
I'm going to. Just because I think it's funny.
Yeah, absolutely. Good at that. Yeah, that works.
But yeah, good God. That was absolutely genuinely impressive. I mean, especially with all your modesty at the start of it as well. I'm kind of good with remembering who played for, but I don't really know who plays where, and then proceed to just rattle off
I guess
26 names in a row.
I don't think I've ever done. I've never been tested, I guess, before on which counties people played for. So yeah, it's obviously in there without. I didn't realise.
Yeah. Great, we've unlocked something else, a new wheelhouse. Great.
God.
There's many rooms in this wheelhouse.
Wow.
Good Lord.
But 90s cricket was the best. I mean, we were rubbish at cricket then. I don't know why I like it so much. Probably just because it was all I thought about during in the 90s. But there you go.
It was so pure. What's your favourite thing about 90s cricket, Dave?
So you never knew what was going to happen next. So there was usually going to be some form of England batting collapse. We were renowned for just really poor selection process. There'd be a lot of one cap wonders in the 90s because people weren't really given a chance to perform. So there's some players who really got a bit of a rough deal. They'd be given one chance and then never play again.
When collating that list, I was actually surprised at the number of players that hadn't played more than 20 tests.
Yes,
because I remembered so many of them, and I was like, they only played 5 times. What the hell?
It's a real shame. But I think and I was a big fan of someone like Mike Atherton during the 90s. Just he just his determination and grit, and his he was he had a couple of great innings. I think he's 185 not out in South Africa in whatever that was, 95 or something. But he was a lot of people wouldn't class him as he's not a very exciting cricketer, I suppose. But I enjoyed the fact he was captain, and he said, he was captaining a rubbish team, but he had a lot of grit and determination. I like that.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. What's your favourite thing about 90s cricket, Josh?
That it's over. But that it's over. I mean, I do remember seeing Sachin Tendulkar smash some runs at Trent Bridge, and then I think it was a match NASA got a double 100 or something, or got a lot. But and then being in a pizza restaurant at lunch when you could go out of the grounds for your lunch break, and being sat next to Jeffrey Boycott, and he was moaning to me and my dad about why they put olives on pizza. He went, bloody olives. Why do they put bloody olives on pizza? And that's my main memory of 90s cricket.
Brilliant. Fun. So leave the past in the past.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough. Yeah, cool. And olives off pizza. All right.
Be like me,
further?
completely stuck in the 90s in terms of football knowledge forevermore.
Yeah, those are your only two options. All right. Anything else?
Good for me. No, it's been
Good for
great.
you.
Enjoyed it.
Cool, lovely, Dave. Thank you so much, man. It was an absolute pleasure having you on.
I really enjoyed it. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. So thanks guys for inviting me, and I enjoy listening to all these podcasts. And I know Elliot, my son, really enjoys them as well. So he'll enjoy listening to this one. Hi, Elliot.
Excellent. Pleased to hear it.
Yeah, cheers. It's a pleasure. As you get your trombone ready to play us out once again, I'll remind people, is Langham listening? And if he is, he can email us at villageidiotscicc@gmail.com, or he can hit us up on the Twitter at villagecicc. Dave, take it away, buddy. Dave, take it away. There we go. Oh, I
was doing a dramatic pause. Thanks, guys. I know that you like to have it like the music side of coming in while you're still talking, so I can start doing that and then keep building up slowly.
All right,
Thanks,
he's
guys.
got the pen. He's got the pen in the bell end. Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Josh.
Village idiots.
Oh man.
Oh, great.